Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are solving delete columns to make sorted. So this problem is basically what the title says. We will be given a list of strings and each string can be considered as one row and each index within each string can be considered as the column, and all the strings that we are given will be of same length, and we want to delete all the columns that are not sorted lexicographically, and we want to return the number of columns that we will delete. So if you look at these examples, CBA, DF, and GHI, CDG is sorted, so we keep. BAH is not sorted, so we will delete that column. And AFI is also in alphabetical order, so we keep that, so we will only delete one column. Now if we look at this example, AB sorted, so we don't need to remove any columns. Look at the last one, ZWT is not sorted, so we need to delete that column. YVS is also not in order, so we need to delete that column. XUR is also not alphabetical order, so we also need to delete that column. So in total, we delete 3 columns and we return 3. So now that we have seen some examples, let's get to how we can solve this problem. So to solve this problem, we will basically use a double nested for loop, and the outer for loop will be looking through the columns and the inner for loop will be looking through each row. And as soon as we see one that is not in alphabetical order, then we can increase results by 1, meaning that would be an extra column that we would delete. So let's go over this example real quick. So first, we look at this first column and we look down each row, CDG in order, so we can look at the next column. Now we go down the row, BA. A is less than B, so we can increase result by 1. And now we come to the last one, AFI. AFI is in order, so we don't need to delete anything. And now we come to the end, we can return 1 as our result. So the time complexity would be O of n times m, where n is a number of rows and m is a number of columns, because that is the number of characters that we will iterate through, and the space complexity would be O of 1 because we are not using any extra space. So now let's go to the coding part. So first we will initialize result as 0, and now we'll look through the column first. So for column and range, the length of strings of 0, so it could be any string, but we just put the first one. Now we will look through the rows for rows in 1 to length of strings, and we will compare that row to the previous row. So if strings of row column is less than strings of row minus 1 of column, then we can increase result by 1 and break out of the for loop and look at the next column, and we will return the result after looping through all the columns. Let's see if it works. Okay, perfect. Hope this was helpful. I thank you all for watching. If you have any other comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I hope to see you all again soon.